Now you can hear me.
Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. You're shaking my confidence daily. Oh Cecilia, I'm down on my knees. I'm begging you please to come home. So come home.
Hello everyone, it's Cecilia-Joy and welcome back to my channel. You may have noticed this portrait behind me. It was drawn by a very good friend of mine from uni called Lottie, and she is an amazing talented artist, and I would really appreciate if you went and checked out her Instagram, which is at LottiePhilipArt, and it will be linked below in the description. For today's video, as everybody is in lockdown and nothing is happening, I thought I would take the opportunity to tell you about my hormone replacement therapy. So hormone replacement therapy is often associated with women who are going through the menopause, so that is when their periods end and they can no longer have children, and people who are transitioning genders. I am neither of those things. Hormone replacement therapy is basically what it says on the tin. It replaces hormones that people lack. And there are many different reasons why people might lack certain hormones. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the hormones that I lack and why I'm on HRT. It's a very long story, and maybe I'll do like a full video about it one day because it was quite a debacle. But in 2014, long ago, when coronavirus wasn't a thing and everyone was just, living their lives, I was, while in Turkey actually, random story, again, maybe I'll make a video one day, I was diagnosed with a brain tumour. It turned out later that I actually had 2 brain tumours and 2 spinal tumours. These tumours were a form of something called PTLD, which stands for post-transplant lymphoproliferative disorders. And they are a type of lymphoma that can be a result of both a solid organ transplant and like tissue transplants as well. And it is one of the most common post-transplant cancers. So my PTLD, we think, originated from my kidney transplant, where we believe that I may have acquired the EBV virus from my mum's kidney. The EBV virus is a very common virus, and it is a virus that causes glandular fever, if you've ever heard of that or even had it yourself. My mum had glandular fever when she was a child, so we have a theory that we can never really truly confirm that she passed EBV down to me through her kidney, and that somehow in my weird body reacted and created a very rare form of PTLD that was driven by this virus. I don't really understand it, so that's really all I can say. But it ended up with 2 big brain tumours and 2 big spinal tumours, which is not ideal. I don't know why I'm smiling. So because these tumours were so rare and so few people in the world had ever had this specific type of PTLD, they didn't really know how to treat them. However, one of the treatments that they tried was radiotherapy. And radiotherapy is a fairly common treatment for a lot of cancers. And this, again, is a not medical explanation. It involves targeting radio waves towards tissue, that in the hope that it will destroy the DNA cells of the tissue and destroy the cells and the tissue. I had radiotherapy both on my spine and on my head. I had whole brain radiotherapy. One of the effects of whole brain radiotherapy is that it can damage your pituitary gland. Your pituitary gland sits in like the center of your brain, and it is responsible for creating certain hormones. It is key, it's part of the endocrine system. Again, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but apparently it's important. We believe that my pituitary gland might have been compromised by the radiotherapy that I had, meaning that all my hormone working, so that includes me producing estrogen and all the other women hormones. This is so embarrassing. I did A-level biology. So I'm not producing those hormones exactly how I should. So this lack of hormones in my body has caused some symptoms. For example, I used to have really thick hair. And when I say really thick hair, everyone used to comment on it. I had to use like 2 hair ties to tie it up. It was like really abnormally thick hair, and it was amazing and I loved it. I have noticed over the last couple of years that my hair has been thinning a lot. It sort of comes out. So when I'm washing my hair, for example, I'll have like sort of clumps of hair all over my hands. And over the past couple of years, my hair has become much thinner. When I say that my hair is thin, they always say that it's not and it doesn't look it. It is. It's just a fact. It's very thin. In fact, I'll insert a picture here of when my hair's wet and you can really see it. And it doesn't help that I have a bald patch on the back of my head from like various surgeries on my brain to do with a brain tumour. And so my hair is really thin, and obviously that's something that really bothers me. So that's one of the symptoms that can be caused by a lack of estrogen. The other symptoms that I have had include like general fatigue, being a bit tired and like low on energy. And the third and final symptom is a little bit more personal. Let's move on from that. I also had very irregular periods. I would have, for example, 80-day gap between 2 periods, and then I'd have 3 in 1 month, so that was not good. Kind of routine if you've had radiotherapy or cancer treatment in general for your doctors to follow up on the workings of your endocrine system and all your hormones. So I had a follow-up and I had some blood tests, and I found out that I'm sort of lacking in some areas. So they placed me on hormone replacement therapy, and I am on patches. So it's no oral medication. They are patches that I stick onto my body that are constantly secreting estrogen into my bloodstream. So these are called Everol Sequi. These are what the individual patches look like in their individual packages. I have to have one of these patches on constantly, and I replace it twice a week. So it's a really easy process. They're really small. Every Monday I change it, and every Thursday. So it involves me just ripping one off and then putting one on the other side, because you're not supposed to place one in the same place that the previous one had been. It's really important that I continue to wear and replace my patches constantly and never leave one off or leave one on for too long, because hormones are really vital in the body, and as soon as you get an imbalance you start having symptoms. I have been wearing my patches now for maybe 3 weeks. Obviously I'm not going to know whether they're fixing my problems straight away. First of all, I don't know whether my hair's going to get thicker. That's going to take a while for me to find out. I've been told that I'm probably going to feel really revitalised and have loads of energy. That hasn't happened yet. I'm still waiting for that one. In terms of the other symptoms, yeah, I guess they're okay at the moment. So that's one positive. So we'll see what continues to happen. I know that this is not a quick fix. It takes a while for things to start balancing out again. In terms of my periods, I'm not having periods because I am on the mini pill, and it's a pill I take every day which stops my periods, which I started long before this because my periods were just a pain in the arse because they were so irregular. One overall effect of the damage to my pituitary gland and my general reproductive system is that we don't know for certain in my future whether I will be able to carry children. My number one life goal is to have a child, so obviously it would be a massive blow if I wasn't able to carry children. They think from the brief conversations that we've had, it wouldn't be a problem with me conceiving a child. It would be a problem with my ovaries, not my ovaries, with my uterus being healthy enough to carry that child. In the future, surrogacy may be something that I have to consider. My sister has offered herself up, so she'll be the first person that I go to. In terms of my fertility, I'm going to have to see a fertility expert in the future. It's up to me when I do it. I mean, I'm not wholly consumed by the fear of not being fertile right now. Having a baby is not something I'm thinking about in my life at this moment. But as I said, it is something that's really important to me. So I think I will see someone soonish just to clear the air and find out where we stand in terms of my fertility, so that I know for the future. So that is my journey with HRT so far. I'm hoping that it's going to improve everything, so my outside symptoms, my inside symptoms, and hopefully get my hormones working again properly. I hope I've taught you a little bit about HRT and how it's not just for those on menopause or those who are transitioning genders. I think if I have any major updates in the future, I will definitely pop on here or onto my Instagram and let you guys know. I have changed my Instagram name. My Instagram name is now at the Cecilia-Joy. There'll be a link down in the description, so please go and follow my Instagram because I would love you forever. I've also recently started a TikTok, which is at scars_and_stuff. Again, that will be linked below, and I would really appreciate a follow because I've just started. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye! Please subscribe and like. Bye!
You're breaking my heart, you're shaking my confidence stealing. Oh Cecilia, I'm down on my knees, I'm begging you